Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Francisco Quixtan and I just survived my first month of grad school. I'm going to Berklee and I'm pursuing my master's in music business. So what have I learned in a month? A lot. I started the whole program with the privilege of time. I sat down and I took notes. I even did like a little lesson on the history of Berklee and took notes and sat down and was trying to do the best that I could, and then life happens. So last week I did a camp at my school for the incoming freshmen. So some of the things that I had in mind to do to continue to keep up with my classes just kind of fell out the window. Some of the things that I do now is that they recommend you spend 13 hours a week dedicated on each class. And right now I'm taking 2 classes, so you do the math, 26 hours expected to be dedicated to these classes. And that's a little unrealistic for me. So I had to figure out ways to get creative in order to keep up with that. There are hours of reading for each class, and I found a way to just copy the content, the PDFs, all the material in the PDFs, to put it into Pages, which is Apple's system. And what I do is I'm using this website to listen to the lessons. So instead of sitting down and having to read, I'm trying to listen to them. And the reason why I do that is because I have a commute that's about 35 minutes every day to and from work. So what I'm planning on doing is setting up my notes so that whenever I'm driving to and from, I get to listen to them. I'm using the free version, at least for this month, and it worked out perfectly when I was at home doing chores and doing everything that I was doing. But my school doesn't have any internet. I have no service. So because of the way that my internet works at school, it just doesn't seem like a possibility. And I learned this the hard way, but if my phone turns off while I'm driving, then the audio shuts off. So while I've been using some free versions of programs that I've enjoyed, I'm gonna have to pay for a service just to keep my sanity and download the audio so that I don't have to rely on internet and I'm being a safe driver, because that's always crucial. I'm really appreciative of the Apple ecosystem. It's not sponsored or anything, not yet at least, but I'm able to start something on my iPad or on my phone, on my laptop, or on my computer, and I'm able to just take those notes and it automatically transfers to the cloud. So that's super convenient. And I just don't know how else it would work if it wasn't like this. I mean, I guess I could take a USB and then hopefully, but I'm just thankful that the cloud services work. The professors are really cool. They are very knowledgeable in what they do. Every week we have a 1-hour class where we meet, and I just get to ask all those questions and learn a lot about the things that they're doing. One of my favorite things about Berklee is how much they dedicate to popular culture. I wrote a paper about Travis Scott, Rihanna, Beyonce, Lady Gaga. All these different studies that I'm doing are relying on learning about what's currently working on pop culture, and it's really good. I'm a borderline stereotypical classical musician where I'm not too knowledgeable of what's happening in the pop industry, but writing about it, researching about it, makes me respect and find a new avenue to express interest into this music. My wife said, "Oh man, if only you had more time, you could dedicate like the entire week to listen to the albums and the artists that you're writing about." And that's a kind of like in the plans, just because writing about Cowboy Carter and just like the process and the planning and just the genius that went behind it makes you want to listen to it and read more. And then the way that it connects to another album is just so. Anyway, currently taking a marketing class. It's probably my favorite class because everything that I'm doing on social media relates to what I'm learning about, just like the marketing funnel and just different ways and means of grabbing people's attentions and the way that companies do it. It also changes my mindset about how I am ingesting media, or how I'm watching and looking at things, and how ads are super important. And the other class is revenue streams in music. So how does anybody make money off of music? And that's another way to see just big picture things. I've learned that I can probably do this for a living. At least I feel like that right now. No offense to education, but the music field is vast. And popular music is super lucrative, and there's a lot of money involved in that. And I'm not just doing this for the money, but I really enjoy the business side of things. I don't know if I've said this online, but I used to work retail, and learning the skills on how to do sales that was fun to me. And some people in my class are like, no, I could never do sales. And to think about the success of my business based on my abilities as a salesperson, and just not interested in that. And I kind of am. So just learning a lot about myself, learning a lot about the business, a completely different side of music, and which I really appreciate, you know, because I've done the classical side, I've done the educational side, I've done band, chorus, orchestra, but the business side, that's super interesting right now as I'm learning about it. So straight A's so far. Let's keep it that way. Yeah, every single week I have to do a paper, and I'm trying to stay ahead of it by doing the work ahead of time. This week I'm tired, so I'm just taking a little bit of a break, but as soon as I'm done with this and creating a little bit of content, then back into the swing of things. So yeah, thanks for keeping up, and I'll keep you updated if anything changes.